So an NFL GM who wants to remain anonymous goes ahead and voices his opinion, which I always think is stupid. If you're going to say something online, put your face behind it. Back it up. Give your opinion. I don't like Colin Cowherd. I really don't. But he said the other day he believes that Joe Burrow is going to request to be traded eventually. And guess what? He put his face behind it. And I can give a lot more respect when you say an outlandish take or you say a take in general and you put your face behind the take. I can always respect that. If you want to become this anonymous person putting out statements, I think it's stupid. So they think that this offseason, Joe Burrow is going to be pissed off by the Cincinnati Bengals because we're not going to be able to keep all four of our guys. Jamar Chase, Trey Hendrickson, T. Higgins, and Mike Gesicki. No way they're keeping more than two of those four. First off, you're an NFL GM, so I don't know how you don't realize this. Jamar Chase is getting paid no matter what. But also, Jamar Chase is on a 1 more year contract, okay? That's because kind of how it works. He's on a contract for 1 more year no matter what. But he's on a 5th-year option, but he's also going to get paid no matter what. Trey Hendrickson, I don't know what this delusion is, and I'm trying to figure this out, but I don't understand. People really don't understand this concept. He's on a contract for another year. Trey is. He's already been vocal. He will play even if he gets no new deal. He will play even if he doesn't get a contract. He won't be happy, but he says he puts business and the contract stuff in play separately. He will still play if he does not get a new contract. Just want to put that out there for the millionth time. Trey Hendrickson, well, yes, he's not going to be like, the happiest. He'll still play. So no matter what, we're keeping 2 of the 4, okay? That's no matter what is going to happen. I agree. The T. Higgins situation, Joe will not be happy if we lose him, right? Mike Gesicki, I think, is actually less of a big thing on Joe's board than T. Higgins is. I think T. Higgins is definitely up. I mean, he's number 1. I don't think Mike Gesicki's as high, but obviously I would assume yes. Joe probably wants to keep T as well. Keep Mike Gesicki as well. But let me tell you this, right? You know what will piss Joe Burrow off, Mr. NFL GM? And it's more than the whole T. Higgins situation. Is if we keep T and we don't improve our offensive line. You want to piss Joe off? Don't work on your offensive line. Don't protect your quarterback. I promise you, yeah, Joe might not like the fact that we lose T. Higgins, but if we go up to Joe and said, hey, Joe, we just traded and got Quentin Nelson, right? His contract so much, even with your restructure, we're not going to be able to keep T. I guarantee you Joe would be, oh, man, that sucks. I really want to keep T. But I guarantee you inside, Joe's going to say, well, I got Chase still. I still got Jamar Chase on one side. And then we go, hey, Joe, we know we lost T, but guess what? We just got Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp's going the other side. And the Rams have already said that they're paying most of his salary. So we would get him for almost nothing. So we're paying him nothing, right? Hey, Joe, we just got Cooper Kupp on the right-hand side. Yoshi, him and Yoshi will be the right-hand side receivers. What do you think, buddy? And we're also going to draft a receiver for the slot. Now Joe's like, hold up. So you're telling me you just got a guy on the left guard position that's going to protect me and be the best of the best, right? Hey, Joe, we just picked back up Kevin Zeitler with the money we didn't pay T with. So now the line is one of the best in the league. You want to piss off Joe? Don't work on that offensive line. Spend the money on T. Higgins. I'm not saying I want T, obviously. I do, 100%. But if you really want to, quote unquote, they're going to piss off Joe, pissing off Joe is not keeping his offense or not improving his offensive line. You want to piss off Joe? Don't improve the defense. Don't add assets to the defense this offseason that helps out the defense. You want to piss off Joe? Don't have a defense. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, Joe's going to be upset if we lose T. 100% I agree with that. But if you like, that is nothing compared to us not improving our offensive line. And I think Joe could agree with that too. There's a chance we do lose T and we get Cooper Kupp. And obviously T is way better than Cooper Kupp in my opinion. Cooper Kupp does have injuries as well. T also has injuries as well. Well, that's kind of ironic. But at the same time, I think, protecting Joe is number one. You win the games in the trenches. Look at the Philadelphia Eagles. Their offensive line protected Jalen Hurts. Their defensive line got after Patrick Mahomes. It didn't matter how good the secondary was for the Philadelphia Eagles. Their biggest thing was getting after the quarterback. Joe wants to win. Joe wants the best team possible around him, that he can do his job and know it is causing this team to win. Yes, he does love T. Higgins. I was 100% sure of that, right? And yes, Mike Gesicki would also be a great asset to come back and have another year with. But at the end of the day, protecting Joe, giving him a defense, that's the most important thing. And I think Joe Burrow would agree with that, and I think he would be happy with that. Again, I do believe he will restructure his contract, and I do believe we will be able to keep T. Higgins, right? At the end of the day, we will. But you got to keep in mind that, even if you keep T and you're like, hey, we're going to keep T, dude, but we're not going to fix this offensive line because we don't have the money. We're going to keep T, dude, but we can't go get a pass rusher in free agency like we want to. That's going to piss Joe off, right? So I think what Joe wants is competency moving forward. He wants to look at what you're doing and say, okay, that's a good move. Like, because Joe's not an idiot, okay? Joe's not a 3-year-old child. Joe Burrow understands moving forward what's best for the team. He understands the direction we need to go. And I think what really comes down to it, and this is what, would piss Joe off in kind of the concept here, is if we don't do anything and we lose T. Higgins. That's really what it comes down to. So, like, if we don't sign T. Higgins, and let's say he restructures his contract, we don't re-sign T, we don't re-sign Mike Gesicki, we don't work on the offensive line, we're going into the draft with the same offensive line we have right now. That would piss Joe off 100%. But again, that would piss off Joe more than losing T. Higgins. Losing T, yes, is up there. It's nothing compared to if we do not improve this offensive line, we do not improve this defense, we do not improve this team in some capacity. You have to improve the team. T, very important asset, but that's not everything. You got to win in the trenches. Work on the trenches. The rest will work out. I promise you, if you give Joe Burrow another 5, 6, 7 seconds to throw the ball, guess what? Yoshi is going to become a lot better wide receiver because he's going to have a lot more time to get open. You give, more time for Joe behind the line, guess what? We can run the ball. You can work on the offensive line. Chase Brown is going to be a top 5 running back when he's already a top 10. Everything works out when you fix the line and the defensive line. Honestly, that's the biggest thing right now. So fix that, correct that, everything else will fall into place. You want to piss Joe off? Don't move forward correctly.